Hello and welcome to another episode of Sports and Songs Podcast. We're on season 5, episode number 33, Sports Edition. Andy, how are you?
I am well. I am fired up and ready to go.
Some soapboxes tonight?
Oh, we got some soapboxes. We got some gear grinding. We got
Is there anything that grinds your gears?
A couple things.
So we're on June 10th, 2024, and we've got some NCAA softball, NCAA baseball, high school, same, hockey, baseball, baseball.
Baseball.
Let's start off with a trivia question, and we'll get to the answer at the end of the show. The trivia question for today is, if you notice my cap, it's a Minnesota Connect jersey, City Connect cap. Sorry, cap. All the teams the Twins were the last. The Twins were the last to announce their City Connect jersey uniforms of all of Major League Baseball. So there's 30 teams, right? 28 teams have announced and unveiled their City Connect jersey. That's where they work with Nike to come up with an on-field jersey. There's 2 teams that haven't yet, and there's 2 teams that I don't believe ever will because they opted out. Now, I just learned this today, but 2 teams opted out. This was not a requirement for the teams to sign up with Nike and Major League Baseball to make this happen. And so 2 teams
I just wrote down my 3 guesses. We'll do that at the end of the show.
We'll do it at the end of the show. There are 2. I know what they are, and they're pretty good ones too. I don't think they'll surprise anyone, but let's move on with the Sports and Songs episode.
We're kicking it off.
Here we go. Soapbox to start off with. I got to get my pen here. All right, I got it.
The Twins City Connect, all the City Connect jerseys, as you know, not a fan.
Yep.
I'm not a fan of this one. Had one of our top fans on social media tried to say, welcome to the 90s. It's the way it is. So I said, you need a home jersey and an away jersey, and that's it. If you all want to do pink for Mother's Day, great, that's it. But you don't need 5, 6 different jerseys. And here's my point on why. One of my many a point on why.
Yes. Yeah.
It's only a half-hour show, so I'll keep it down.
Yes.
Everybody complains about the prices of tickets, the prices of beer, hot dogs, at a ball game. But they'll drop $120 every year and a half for a new jersey. I got an idea. Take your $120 for your jersey. Take your kid to the game and have a good time. Give them that memory. Instead of some shirt that they're going to outgrow in 6 months and never wear again, and you're putting it in a garage sale in 4 years for $3. So save the money, take your kid to the game, enjoy it, give him memories instead of a shirt that he's going to wear twice, spill pudding on, and then you're selling it at a garage sale a few years later. Just quit. If they sold that just as a T-shirt, great. Have a different one come out every month for all I give a rat's ass. Have it be your promotional jersey to give away. Great. Not something to wear for a game. And if they want to say, like the pink ones at Mother's Day for breast cancer, great idea. But let's limit how many of those we do. Because if you said, hey, here's a jersey for this cause, and here's a jersey for that cause, and here's a jersey for that cause, and you know what? We as an organization will give everything to that charity. Wow, what a great write-off for the team that year. You bought a jersey where all the proceeds go to charity. Did you get a write-off? No. Did billionaire owner get a write-off? Yep. Who wins? Not you. You overpaid for a shirt so he can get a bigger write-off to give to charity. And who wins? Not you.
Now, there's one correction there, Andy.
Yes.
I went there to the Twins Pro Shop today, and guess how much those jerseys go for? The actual game on-field jerseys, not the ones that are blank, not the ones that are blank in the back, the ones that say Lewis 23, Buxton 25. Those jerseys from the City Connect today, and not on sale either. They were $469 a piece. And there was
take your kids to a game.
People lining up to get jerseys. Some of them were wearing them out of the store. So what I saw when I went to the event this morning, the first hour is opened up to season ticket holders only. And these are what I would call your super fans, of course, right? Your super fans. They are the ones that I believe already own the home the away, the alternate, the Twin Cities cream color, all these jerseys.
Yep.
And I cannot believe the amount of money in those tills that were ringing up for families coming in getting the jerseys.
Families,
little kids and adults.
Yep. Take your kid to the game, spend the money on that, and give them memories. Don't give them some. No.
There may have been, the youth jerseys, the adult jerseys. Then some of them also, I think, were buying the ones that were just blank in the back. But I looked at the tag. It was $4.69 for the authentic on-field jerseys, and people were buying them. Now, I couldn't believe how high they were or how high they are, but it's a mentality. Once again, is there's something new, I need to have it. I don't want to be outdone by the season ticket holders that are next to me, so I have to have this.
Yeah, look at me.
That's what it is. It's certainly a peer pressure thing. Now, you mentioned also about the Twins or other teams with other jerseys. There's in spring training, they wear a St. Patrick's Day green, light green version. All the teams have those. And Military Appreciation Day, there's like a camouflage team. Father's Day, there's fun jerseys and different kind of caps. Mother's Day, there's fun jerseys and pink bats and all of these things. And they said even with the Twins Nike City Connect jerseys that they talked about, because there's enough colors in those, that look for the ball players to wear accompanying cleats.
Yep.
Different cleats just for these uniforms. And they'll wear them 11 times a year. So it's a big, big business, but I could not believe the price.
Let's grind a few gears while we're at it.
Grinding gears.
Man. Just there was a thing I saw the other day. It was what was it for again? Or where did I see it? I can't remember. Anyway, people talk about different sports. The Vikings have new uniforms out now, and that's the same thing. NFL has their color coded where they all wear, like the Vikes could be all white from head to toe. White helmets, white shirt, white pants. Again, don't understand. All these sports are doing this. Lower your ticket prices then so I can buy your shirt. Again, I'm kind of grouping all sports out, kind of running off the soapbox topic here. So it's just the whole, everybody's doing this. Everybody wants to buy the shirts, but no one wants to go to the game. No, everybody's going to buy that Twins jersey. So there's Lewis on the back. Pretty sure about 20% of people don't know his first name, let alone the position he plays. It's all for image. And the Twins are taking the money hand over fist, which is great. Or the Vikings are taking the money hand over fist. Quit changing these jerseys all the time. It's hard to follow who's who. Everybody buys a jersey for this guy, and then he's gone a year later.
Yeah, I could see, and we brought this up before in the past. Let's say NFL players in the past, you were on a contract, and unless you got traded, you're really with that team for life or got released. There was no moving around. You'd get a jersey of a favorite player, and you could just keep it. Nowadays, they cycle in and they cycle out so many times that you're spending $400 or $500 on a jersey in a couple of years. You're going to wear that to a Twins game, getting laughed at and pointed at because it's a player that's no longer on the team. That's what you're getting at, is there's no longevity with the players anymore. And now what do you do with that jersey? You can't, what do you do? Sell it at a garage sale? You give it away? No, you keep it. And then now you wear it to the games and now you're laughed at. So it's now you're that guy.
But here's the difference. It depends on the player. You got an old school, well, now would be a retro one, but say you went to a Twins game today and you got a Puckett jersey. Hey, that's old school. That's cool.
Yeah.
You get the retro, old remade Harmon Killebrew one. Okay, that's kind of cool.
Yes.
You got a Michael Kadire. That's like, oh, I didn't know there was a Goodwill around here.
There was, like the old.
I got my Expos 57 Gary Carter jersey. I just got it this year. Yes, it's a remake. Yes, it's not original. Yes, I paid $25 for it. No name on the back. I know whose it is. It's the number. That way, okay, that's cool. I'll give you that one. But like you said before, when you're spending $400 for a shirt, for a guy who probably won't be here in a little bit, you know.
And now you had mentioned the Vikings, and they had a name for that jersey with the white helmet, the whiteout, or the winter, or the blizzard, or the
the white, the blizzard, or
there's something. And so those, I don't know what those are called. Do they have a name? That's not through.
Yeah, the NFL does some of the all white. The Packers have their all big green ones, and someone else.
But those were, I think those were when they did the color rush on Thursday nights, where you had that one jersey that was top to bottom.
Yep.
These are similar to that, but you only wear them once a year, and you put them on the schedule. Like the Twins, the City Connect, they announced the 11 dates are going to wear those. Well, there's 81 home games, and so 70 you're wearing other jerseys.
Already.
The problem is you're wearing 4 other jerseys for those 70 games, and then the 11 for these. So
you got your Twin Cities one, your home ones, your Sunday black ones that some teams have. I mean, Mike crying out.
So what they have is, like you said, Andy, I think there's an official away, there's an official home, there's an official alternate. Sometimes there's an official throwback. Now they've got the City Connect, which are really the Nike version ones, but there's alternating pants and tops that you mix and match with that are the combinations are like there's 10 combinations for jerseys. Same as in football, same as in what they're seeing now in college football.
Yep. Now, I don't mind for college football or for basketball. You see it every now and then. You have a whiteout where everybody wears white in the crowd. Okay, that's fine. Because I can wear any old white shirt, or blackout. I can wear any black shirt.
Sure.
It doesn't have to be your black jersey, just a black. Those, if you want the fans to come, don't make them buy your white jersey. It's called a whiteout. There we go. I win again.
And the other point that you made, the other point I wanted to jump in on before we move to the next thing was, you're right. Football, they typically most of the games are sellouts, right? But baseball, the Twins built the new stadium under the promise essentially that they'd get 30,000 fans every home game, 42,000 when they sell out. But in reality, you're getting 17, 18,000 fans, sometimes 15,000 fans. You're having a tough time getting the 20,000 for home games. What you're trying to say, Andy,
buying $500 jerseys.
Yeah, you're buying the jerseys and you're not buying the tickets. And so people want to be seen or wear the jerseys and not go to the game. The point should be getting the tickets to sell these games out, and they're not. And that's where it's a big business. It's unbelievable, but that's what they're calling that now. So that's the last one for the City Connect. But yeah, football, they're going the same route. I'm sure we'll see it in NBA. Already has something similar, and so does the NHL.
Yep. All right. Brittany Fleming announcing her retiring from the PWHL, former Maverick.
Okay.
And also they had a statement here. They had about Natalie Darwitz. Now, I think that's where the pictures of Natalie in here because had some editing issues earlier. Some saved, some didn't. So I apologize. I'll skip through those as we go along. Professional Women's Hockey League, PWHL, and PWHL Minnesota General Manager Natalie Darwitz. They part ways. Just soon after the championship, just a couple days ago.
Yep.
New York and Toronto, June 8th, 2024. The Professional Women's Hockey League and Minnesota General Manager Natalie Darwitz have parted ways effective immediately. And all just goes on, and I got the pages here at the printouts just kind of saying, yes, we've parted ways, No real. Channel 5, they parted ways, more to come. Channel 9, they parted ways, more to come. No one's really saying yet what happened. And now one thing we're big at here on our show is we're going to say this. I'm not going to give too many opinions yet because I want the snow to settle.
Yep.
I want to have both sides get their stuff out. Let the media rip it. Let them rebuttal it. So check with us in a couple weeks to get our opinion on it and give you more facts on it. You're all smart enough to figure it out and read it yourself. But watch for this story. There's a lot of stuff coming out here back and forth. This is going to be interesting. I'd like to know what's going on.
So Natalie Darwitz, for those who don't follow pro women's hockey that much, is basically she is on the Mount Rushmore of women's hockey. Let's put it that way. She's a Minnesota local playing high school varsity since 8th grade. won state, went to college, won national titles, won everything, from a player. As a player, she's very, very good, very talented. And now she's in this general manager role. The season just literally started last year. It's the first year.
Yeah.
The Minnesota team goes on to win the title. Now, hardly ever do you see a general manager step down or part ways with the team after winning it. It's usually those announcements are made when the season ends for the worst teams. We're getting a new coach. We're getting new owners. We're getting new general managers. We're getting teams, players that are leaving, whatnot, all these transactions. But a team that just got done winning the title, the first ever title, you don't see 7 days later, we're going to part ways with our general manager. So yes, you're right. Something's going on. Everyone's saying that she stepped down or it wasn't her decide, but they decided to move forward and she was given other job opportunities at the league office. But no one said what happened. Now, when she issued her statement, it said, for reasons I can't get into right now, I'm stepping down. So there's got to be a lawsuit going on, right?
Yep. Did she do contract tampering? That's the first thing that came to my mind. So then again, they withhold the championship if they did.
So something is right, and we need to get to the answer when the dust settles, because we don't want to sit here and think about it now. But something did happen that I'm sure she cannot wait to spill her guts to see what happened. The other teams, the management, the owners can't wait to get both sides out there, but they really can't. So everyone's just assuming right now. But this is going to be interesting. Yes, a great player. I don't know what she's like as a coach. I don't know what she's like as a general manager. Maybe she's very poor at it. Maybe she doesn't get along. I don't know. I'm not here to speculate. But she's a Minnesota gal, very successful. But this really, whatever happened, got sour fast.
Right. Or was it somewhere during the season they didn't want to upset the playoffs and waited until afterwards?
And they were a very average team. Them and Boston got to the playoffs, but only were basically 500 teams.
Yeah, they started hot and hit the wall at the end. And so I don't know, something there or what, who knows?
They were the fourth best team going up against Toronto, the third best. And whatever happened, they ended up winning it on the ice. But the front office, there's something else.
All right. Coach Cheryl Reeve.
Ooh.
Has an 8-word message. Okay. We'll get this. Caitlin Clark didn't make Team USA.
Yeah. So this is for the Summer Olympics. Yep.
She has a great thing. She goes, hey, well, just makes me want to try harder, more will to want to make it in 4 years. That was Caitlin Clark's reply.
Yep.
She is so professional, it hurts. Fans are outraged over this weekend's news that Caitlin Clark will not play for Team USA in 2024 in Paris. She's been left off the 12-player roster, which includes several veterans, many feeling are past their prime. Team USA coach Cheryl Reeve, pictured here, head coach of the WNBA's Minnesota Lynx, plays a key role in deciding the final roster. She isn't solely responsible for the roster decisions. So before you go to a Lynx game and boo Coach Reeves, listen. So it's safe to assume Reeves was in favor of leaving Clark off the roster. That shouldn't come as a surprise. Reeves told reporters at the summit earlier this year that she's never been in the trenches with Clark. In other words, she shouldn't feel comfortable putting her on a roster to compete for gold medal. So Coach Reeves has been busy with Olympic stuff, pro team. She didn't have a lot of Saturday afternoons to sit around and watch Hawkeye basketball, okay? She's got trainers and scouts that do that for the draft. One thing I heard today about the team they picked, this 12-person team. 9 of them were on the last Olympic team. 8 of them played together in the Pan Am games. So you've got some teamwork there already. Brittany Griner, who just came off injury, made the team. Yes, a lot of these girls made it on name. A lot of them made it because they were there before. They've been there before. They're not going to have a lot of practice together before the Olympics. So get some who've worked together before. Not saying Caitlin's not professional, but they know the European style because they play in Europe in the offseason. Caitlin hasn't. Yes, Iowa went over some preseason games, but that's not the same thing. I have no problem with Caitlin being off. As a Caitlin Clark fan, and I'm not being apologetic when I say this, but here's reasons why I personally am glad she's not on the USA team. If she had done poor, they'd done poor. that could have killed the WNBA's momentum and attendance and everything else, my opinion. She's not in shape like some of these pro girls of playing year-round. She just came off a college season, went to the finals, went straight into the pros a month later. She can use the month off. So as a Caitlin Clark fan, I'm okay with her not being in the Olympics. So there's that my side on that. And here, other people are still concerns on decision making. I don't get it. I have no problem with her not being there. A lot of the press is saying they're upset with that. Players are back and forth. You got my 2 cents. And here is the roster. As you see, a lot of names you've seen on there before. Oh, there's Taurasi again. Oh, there's Brianna Stewart and Brittany Griner. Oh, look, that's the same old, same old. Fine. They know how to win. They've played together. They've played in Europe. They get it. Relax. When they bring home the gold medal, no one's going to remember. And the Fever Mystics.
I got a piece to add on that before you move. I got a piece to add on that. Here's what I think on this whole USA Olympic women's basketball. There's 3 things going on here. One is when the Olympics were announced, somewhere it was blatantly said that Caitlin Clark would be on the team. My question is, who said that, or where did that come from?
Yeah, not me.
You heard it. You heard it yourself. They said she was going to be on as the sole player right out of college. All the rest would be veteran WNBAers that would be on the roster. And I remember when it came out, I was so happy that she was going to be on that team because she deserved it. Now they say she's not on the team. So my question is, if they wouldn't have said that at the beginning, I don't think there'd be any hard feelings because they wouldn't assume she would be on it. But it didn't sound like she was asked to try out for the team. They said she was going to be on it. So there's miscommunication back months ago when this all started. Now to say that she's not on it, now the question is, did the other better players make it, which I think is probably more accurate. Some people are saying that she was, cut and she didn't cut the mustard. She fell below the line. Well, then why was the public told that she was going to be on it in the first place? Now, I agree with you that if they pick 12, they're better than her, go. The distraction would have been, I think, astronomical. Yep. With Taurasi on the team. The very players that don't like Caitlin Clark are on this USA Olympic team. So give the 3 weeks, the 4 weeks off, let her rest. She's been going nonstop. I don't know about the other things you said, the European style, the play, the veterans, all that makes sense. The question is, if Caitlin Clark is growing the sport of women's basketball, now you're turning people potentially away because she's not going to be on. Who's going to now turn the channel and say, hey, I'm going to watch this Olympics? The true fans are still going to watch it. Yep. I myself, I'm probably going to watch as much of the women's because I would have liked to have seen Caitlin. She's the gal single-handedly rising to the occasion for all this. And I'm saying just as a bench player, have her come in and play 4 minutes, 5 minutes. She doesn't have to be a starter. Now the question is this. Here's the third thing is there's 12 on the team. Before the playoffs start, before the qualifying and everything takes place and the practices, someone's going to get hurt or 2 people are going to get injured, maybe 1 or 2. Who are the backups is my question.
Is she number 13, 14, 15 on the list?
Yeah. Did it say that she was cut outright and not going to make it? Or is she going to be potentially an alternate if someone else gets hurt? I wish the public would say that, to say, hey, she's close. She's on the bubble. If someone gets injured, she'd be the next call. Or is she... If someone does get injured or 2 players injured, it sounds to me like she's not even going to be on the phone call at the list because they don't even want her there. That's where my confusion is. So what's your thought?
Here's the other thing people got to remember too. It's like any other sport. She's a guard. If 12 of your 20 best players are all guards, only 2 could play at a time. Only 1 or 2 more on the bench. You need 2 forwards. You need a center. You can't take 12 guards and go.
They have 12 players broken down. The total of 12 are broken down between the forwards, guards, centers. However Cheryl Reeves wants it, they've got the limit. And so she obviously didn't make the cut. That's fine. Doesn't make the cut. Well, but we were promised at the beginning that she was going to be on. In fact, she was highlighted and starred and highlighted as the only collegiate player coming out that hadn't yet played at WNBA to make the team. It sounded to me like she made the team.
That's
So
what I was
I
hearing.
think
Yeah.
that's where the communication breakdown is. So now people are let down. But now this controversy with Caitlin Clark, wherever she goes, is not only spilling over from the WNBA, now it's into the Olympics, and now it's water cooler talk on that whole topic.
Yep.
That's the thing I feel sorry for. And Caitlin Clark has yet to do anything wrong or say anything wrong.
And here's the thing, like we talked about with the NBA when it's here. The Timberwolves have something called Ant and Cat. Everybody's got a nickname in every sport. She's Caitlin Clark. Not Caitlin, not Clark, Caitlin Clark.
You're right.
Now, is that a respect thing, given both names and not a nickname? Even not just short of just one name? Is that kind of respect showing both? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a very interesting. This whole dynamic is interesting because we could have a whole show on any one of these topics, an entire show.
We don't talk, hey, 22 didn't make it. Hey, 22 didn't make it. Who? No, Caitlin Clark.
So she made the comment that, yes, I'll work hard to make the 2028 team.
Yep.
She also said that, well, now they've created a monster by leaving me off the team. It's an interesting thing. Someone on one article, and I posted it on our Facebook page today by saying, if you really want to screw with people, her mother is of Italian descent. Maybe she joins Team Italy and plays. That would really stir the pot. You know, she's actually is eligible if she was to opt in and play for another country and be a starter, potentially.
A lot of players have done that. I said that before about Las Vegas Aces coach Becky Hammond did that.
There's too many scenarios. The best is to give her 3 weeks rest, I think.
Yes.
She's literally got done getting her diploma from college and playing in the finals and having her name in the paper every single day. And her name is usually trending on Twitter every single day.
Yeah.
Oh my. Okay,
Speaking
go ahead.
Of Caitlin Clark, they played the Mystics the other day.
You can bring up your screen here.
And at the time, the Mystics had 2 wins or had no wins. The Fever had 2 wins. Fever won that game, and they outdrew game 1 of the finals by over 1,000 people.
And so these are the NBA. This is the NBA Finals, Andy. Yes. If the listeners don't know, this is the championship 7-game series being viewed by teams with losing records in the WNBA regular season games.
Yep.
That's, I think, the impact that Caitlin brings.
Hockey, little college hockey news here. NCAA rules, playing rules oversight panels approved tweaking rules. Checking from behind, contact to the head in college hockey. You can just go to the NCAA sites and see this. They're kind of changing some rules. Is it to say, hey, let's make the game tougher so people watch? No. I think it's a little bit to make it a little easier transition for the guys. They allow them to come from Europe or these other tournaments where you can do that. Now you got to settle it down for college. I think they're doing it just to make the transition easier. College hockey fans, look into it. If I'm wrong on that, please let me know, but I doubt I'm wrong. But
nice. So well,
if you don't watch college hockey because you think it's too finesse, not tough enough, watch it next year, see what happens.
Yes.
All right. Oops. I just saw this meme and I loved it. CWS, Chicago White Sox, no. College World Series. I was going to put up our finals for the College World Series, but there's one game being played tonight to decide. Then we'll have the brackets for the College World Series.
Okay. So there's super regionals, right?
Yep. Here's our state softball champs in Minnesota. Class A, New Ulm. Double A, Randolph. Mankato East is your 3A. And Rogers is your 4A champ.
Congrats, ladies.
Here's the boys' brackets. There we are. Here you see them. There's A, and these we played at Joe Faber Field. Target Field holds all the finals. All the championship games will be at Target Field. The rest of these are kind of regional, which we've talked about before. I wish kind of hockey and basketball did that. So these little towns wouldn't have to come all the way down here to get crushed and go home the next day. There's your double A bracket. Your 3A. And those of you on the Spotify side, you can check this out on our social media site or Minnesota State High School League.org, mshsl.org. And 3A, there's Tonka. Ooh, go Tonka. Yeah. And Oklahoma is your 4-peat champ in softball. Their Twitter handle. The official Twitter of University of Oklahoma softball. 2000, 2013, 16, 17, 21, 22, 23, 24 national champions. So there you go. You want to play women's softball.
We've had this discussion in the past, but to win a Division I sport national title one time is tough to do. Twice, tough. 3 times. 4 times. What they're doing, and softball is getting tougher and more every year. It's more challenging with these teams coming up with their recruits and their 5-star athletes. To win it 4 straight years, unbelievable. Hats off to Oklahoma.
Very good for those ladies there. Soapbox number 2. I was at the Saints game, and it was bothering me. People walking up and down the aisles whenever they want. They need this sign right there. As a courtesy to other guests, please wait until this at-bat is complete before returning to your seats. Thank you. People were walking up and down, standing, going, oh, is this my seat? Where's row 12? Oh, is this seat 1 or 20 at this end? I don't know. Read the sign at the back of the aisle when you first came down. Look at a map when you walk in to see where your seats are and you buy your tickets. And at the Saints game, I saw it more often than not in the first 3 innings. People go, oh, those are my seats. Okay. People don't even look at their tickets. They just walk up. Oh, let's go sit down there. Oh, let's go sit over here. Do you not buy a ticket for a certain reason to sit somewhere? Does no one care where you sit? Next time I go to a Saints game, I'm buying the cheapest seats and I'm sitting down in the front.
And then just wait to get pushed back. And that's what folks do. They just wait to get pushed around and bumped along like a ping pong ball.
Yep. And on a Thursday night or Wednesday night, you can probably get away with it. Saturday and Sunday might be a little tough. Friday might be a little tough, but I bet you on a Wednesday night, buy the cheapest seat you can and go sit down in front.
Yeah, the Saints games hold, 7,000 fans, and they frequently sell out. So,
and their concessions this weekend were horrible. Staffing was terrible. Or as Charles Barkley would say, terrible.
Good weather, right? Nice sunny days. They're playing the Syracuse Mets were in town.
That's one announcer.
But this is such an etiquette thing, Andy.
Yeah, it was just life etiquette, in my opinion.
And so what he's getting at, for the listeners here that don't know or don't follow, for baseball, you need to wait and go after 3 outs to go up and down the aisles. If you're in a rush, you please let the batter finish the at-bat. And this is for pro, minor league, high school, and amateur town ball. This all goes the same. You should not be getting your seats up and down or standing at any time when there's play going on. Duck down. I don't care where your seat is. If you're looking at your tickets and you don't know, duck down or stand back at the railing until you can visually see where you're going. When the out is made, walk to that spot, get to it, and sit down. You can always get adjusted. Put your coat down, put your jacket, get your glasses on, put your sunglasses on in between innings once you sit down. But just get there and plant your butt first, then get adjusted. But doing all this in between the at-bats, not during the live play is in. I have seen that myself. Well, they'll just go down there and stand a group of 4 or 5 people and then wait for everyone to stand up and then go, slide in. But
you've got to do it in between for Timmy so he can go sit in first. No.
Well, yeah, it's in between innings, or it's after the at-bat has completed when you have that downtime. Never should you even be standing up at a game during the at-bat, unless if you're cheering bottom of the 9th inning, who knows what's going on. But this is something like we see all over the place. It's simple. It's very simple etiquette.
Another grind my gear. Okay, this Mets website put this up, or a Facebook page. Oh, look, there's the cutoff line for playoffs for wild card, and the Mets are 3 games out. Well, why don't you mention the other 4 teams I got to leap over first? That's what bothers me. Don't be the homer and go, oh, we're only 3 games out of the wild card spot. Yeah, you are. But you got to leap over 4 other teams to get there, 5 other teams to get there. So if I win 3 and the Reds lose 3, we are not automatically in that spot. Depends what the other 5 did in between. Yeah. So very much bothers me. And I use the Mets as an example here. But you see it normally in a paper, like after week 1 of the NFL. If Chicago, Detroit, Green Bay, and Minnesota all won, they just list them in alphabetical order. Except in the Star Tribune, they put the Vikings first because that's the local team. just be the same as everybody else and list it alphabetically for crying out loud. Quit trying to make it sound like you're better than you are. This is making the Mets sound better than they are, and they're not. The Mets suck this year.
It's a consistency thing as far as how they list and how they present things, whether it's on TV, in a newspaper. This should be the same. And we've always seen, even in Major League Baseball, the American League is listed first with the standings. National League. Now all of a sudden the National League is on top, or the order's all reversed. Now I don't know why that is. Or whatever changed, but the consistency there is king. Just leave it alone.
Use the alphabet, folks. All right, some more sports notes. Here we go. I saw this stat that was cool. The most recent season, the worst record in the American League. Each team had the worst record. I mean, the Yankees, 1990, had the worst record. And some of these blew me away. The White Sox had it in 76 was the last time. They've had some bad teams. But the one that blew me away is the Boston Red Sox have not had the worst record since 1932.
Wow.
You figure something in there would have slipped through where they just had a bad year, especially when there wasn't as many teams in the league.
That's interesting.
Baltimore in 21, they've been one of the best teams the last 3 years. Texas in 20, they were in the world champions. Houston 2013, look how they've been since then. The Royals won it a couple years after 05 when they had the worst record. So,
yeah, and so the point here is that teams may have up and down seasons. They may be bad, but this list is going back to when was the last time that they were the worst.
Yeah.
And Boston, it looks like even years that they were bad, there seems to be another team that was worse than them in each and every one of those years.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I thought that was pretty exciting. Okay, now this was almost soapbox-esque.
Okay.
NFL has banned the Eagles and Packers from wearing green in Brazil due to gang association. Players will also be required to wear bulletproof vests and are advertised to atone from their sins prior to the game. Okay, first of all, if it's a gang issue like that in Brazil, why'd you pick two teams that have green in their colors if you know that's an issue? Why not have it be like the Raiders and the Vikings then, or something like that? I mean, or Tampa Bay and Minnesota. There's no green in there at all.
Wow. That's a very interesting point.
The NFL doesn't need the attention. And look at the attention they're drawing by doing this. Oh, look, we'll have to do special uniforms again.
Yep, that's what'll end up happening.
And
they'll use this.
For something like this, because it's in Brazil. Okay, I'm okay with the special uniforms. But, geez, what a coincidence. Pick two teams that are primary green where you can't wear green. And, oh, by the way, I probably won't watch this game. So
it's interesting. I probably won't either. But I think what they do is they book the date or the agreement per the contract to do this. And then the schedule comes out. And then they say, okay, which one of these games work? And they get the agreement, and then they check on, I guess we didn't know the colors didn't work.
Yeah, how would you not know
that last? And that's the point you're trying to make, is that what you need to check these. You're going into different countries, check first. Yep. The question should be, why is the NFL playing in other countries to begin with? Do we need a London series? Do we need
to grow the brand? But you know what?
It's already the brand is already, the NFL's huge.
Right.
There's nothing to grow. Mexico City.
Look at the money you make on this. The money you'll make on special jerseys. The money Amazon or Apple TV will pay for the game.
Yeah,
the rich get richer.
It's just too much.
Check this out. This year, the Olympic swimming trials will be moved from Omaha to Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis.
Oh, no. It will? How?
Capacity 30,000 fans, 2 million gallons of water, 3,000 volunteers, 17 sessions, largest venue a pool's ever been inside of. Now, here's what I'm going to say right here on this. Do not tell me swimming and diving, not diving, just swimming. These guys are making money. You can afford to put a pool in a football stadium for Olympic trials? The trials? This is not cheap. Don't tell me these Olympics aren't making bank on stuff. Olympics, Lucas, where the NFL Combine is held, where until recently the Big Ten championship football game was always played, where the Indianapolis Colts play, where they have basketball tournaments, this, that, and now swimming.
And so the Olympics are in Paris. This is the qualifying or the preliminary rounds.
Yep.
With just the U.S. only, they're going to build this pool inside the dome so they can fit more. So it's all about the cash. Instead of taking the existing or best arena that we have and just charging higher prices to now you're gonna seat 60,000 people to watch.
University of Minnesota has Olympic-sized pools.
I never heard of that before.
University of Minnesota has Olympic-sized pools, and we can't get it here, but we'll build one at Lucas Oil Stadium for the weekend.
But do you think that the swimmers themselves are going to say, look, this is not what I'm used to. The configuration is not right. This is not, it's a temporary setup. I don't like it. Well, and it's affecting my times.
It being an indoor thing all the time anyway. I mean, I know out on the West Coast, they swim outside. But for the Olympic stuff, it's all indoor controlled environment, no wind aided, this, that, the other thing.
Yep.
This is going to be different. You got a temporary pool you're building. So you don't have the normal jets like at a regular Olympic pool at University of Minnesota or Omaha or wherever else. So.
Yeah, I can only imagine. See, now with doing something like this, you need a plan B because if something fails, something does not go right. What are you going to fall back on?
Well, what's stopping other ones from having it? Okay, you've got swimming in a dome like this. Okay, you got something big enough. Okay, Jerry Jones, his people in Dallas are going, we can do the high dive in here. You watch, AT&T Stadium will have the diving championships or qualifying in the next 3 years.
Or the Alamo Dome or SoFi Stadium in LA. Yeah, it's.
Write this down.
Wow.
41 minute and 45 second mark of this episode, Andy called it. I thought this was kind of funny.
That's amazing.
Because I'm a non-Viking fan, so I thought that was funny. Winning percentages has mostly had a strong correlation with Super Bowl titles. Vikings have the fourth highest winning percentage in all of football and never had a Super Bowl trophy. Now, that kind of, to me, though, it's not rip. It's kind of like with the Boston Red Sox never having the worst record. Someone, you figure sunshine would have shined down a monkey's ass somewhere, you know. But the Patriots, 555, and they got 6 rings. And they had some lean years. Dolphins last few years have just been horrible. The 49ers in the early 80s were just dog crap. And they got 5 rings. The Steelers, who just signed Mike Tomlin to another 3-year extension today, playing almost 600 ball. The Cowboys almost 600 ball. I mean, I don't know what the Vikings at 560, we'll say. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt. And no championships. They've had some great teams. The 70s had some awesome teams. The 80s had a couple of great teams. You figure somewhere they would have backed into a championship.
Now, that being said, this statistic is Super Bowls only, and so Minnesota, I think, did win it all. And
the Dolphins at 554. There was a perfect season. Yeah,
but to not, after all these years of not winning it, even on a fluke thing, not even once. It's,
yeah,
it's a good stat. It's very noteworthy.
The Jaromir Jagr and Stanley Cup final. Starting back to 1980, including Jagr himself. Either him or a former teammate of his has won the Stanley Cup every year since 1980, except for 2022.
Wow.
Now, granted, Messier's on there a lot, and Jagr himself and ex-teammates, but still, someone you played with at one time in your career went on and went to another team to win a cup. Now, does Jagr get credit for that? No. It's kind of like in baseball, there used to be the old Cub rule for the World Series for years. No team with 3 or more ex-Cubs had ever won the World Series for the longest time. This is kind of the reverse of that. If you got an ex-teammate Jagr on your team, and both teams this year both have Jagr teammates on it, so. And that, my friend, is all I got.
So, Andy, Canadian Football League started this week.
Yes.
So week 1 is done. This is the Canadian Football League. They play many more games than the NFL, but they start this time of the year, kick things off. The new power rankings were released today. I don't have any more information on that, but just want to share that with the listeners out there that if you need your spring fix of spring football, CFL is there. Now the UFL,
St. Louis lost yesterday. What up with that?
Yes. No, they're hosting their dome field. It used to be the St. Louis Rams home dome stadium. That's going to be the site of the UFL championship on Sunday, and that's going to be San Antonio Brahmas against Birmingham Stallions. So that's going to be Sunday, and then that will be done. Arena Football League is still going, I think, another month, and they will be done. But football, you'll still have your fix if you need it. Check it out there. In the NFL, the combines, the spring workouts are going on. College football, the spring games, the practices, the things are going on. Now, we covered softball, baseball, Major League Baseball, high school. The PWHL draft is going on tonight. We talked about that a little bit. Now, I've got the answer to the trivia question.
Okay, repeat it. Let me see if I get it.
Since Nike made their agreement with the Major League Baseball to design a City Connect uniform for each team over the last, I think 4 years they've been doing it now. 2 teams have opted out. 2 teams have opted out, said we don't want anything to do with it. We're not interested. Who are the 2 teams, Andy?
Okay, I've got 3 down as a guess. The Oakland A's.
Yes.
And the Atlanta Braves.
No.
The Dodgers?
Nope. You'll get it when I say it. The Yankees.
Oh, Jesus.
The Yankees, I don't even think have an alternate uniform, do they?
No, they have home and road, and that's what I love about the Yankees.
And people hate the Yankees. People love the Yankees, but be that as it may, there's only 2 jerseys. There's no throwback. There's no alternate. There's no City Connect. There's a home and an away. There's no names on the back. That's it. It's simple.
Here's a little fun fact, because we're here to educate, Dan.
Yes.
Here's your homework. Not homework, but fun fact of the day. The Yankees were one of the first teams to start putting numbers on their backs, on the uniforms. And the way they came up with that their first year, you batted first, you were number 1. You batted second, you're number 2. Babe Ruth batted third. Gehrig batted 4th. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the first 9 guys, that's who you were in the batting order. That was your number.
There was no jersey 10 until a couple games in
the next guy. Yeah, but the first 9, that was your batting order.
So that's what started. I think the low numbers are always common in baseball. 0 or 1 through 20 is typically what you see. 1 through 30, and then over the years it's gotten to be larger, bigger numbers. Aaron Judge comes in, with 99, but you never used to see that. It was always the lower jersey numbers. But those are the 2. Now Oakland A's, the team that's failing, the team's not even playing home games at the Coliseum. They're playing home games at a minor league or a college or something.
Yeah, and also when they go to St. Louis or to Vegas, they want to have like 8 games on the road as home games.
So they're in the process of moving. No one's showing up to the games. I'm sure the last thing on their interest list is, hey, let's do a City Connect and work with Nike to get new jerseys. And not even interest. But the Yankees, I think, was a hard no. So every team did it. Now, the last thing I'm going to say about the City Connect today, Andy, is something I learned today while being there on site. We always see the unveiling of the jerseys that'll be worn on the field and the people, the fans going by them. And we either love them, hate them. Most of the time we hate them. They're just odd looking. They're really different. And so you see that. Now, when you go in the pro shop of a team who's had these done, which means there's 28 of them that have already had it done, what they do for the City Connect is much more than just the jerseys. There's little doggy outfits with the new logo. There's winter caps with the new logo. There's magnets and keychains and can koozies with the new logo. There's T-shirts and hooded sweatshirts that have the logo in it, but it's not the jersey. It doesn't even look like the jersey. So one of the reasons I got the cap is that this is not the on-field cap. It does have the various logos and things on the side, but there's a whole plethora of alternative
something
things.
on the inside of the rim too?
Nope.
I saw
Nothing
that maybe the players' caps or something on the inside of the brim. I heard
they have the Lake Minnetonka outline is in the middle as an ode to Prince, and so Minnesota's is good. It's got the loon image. To me, that kind of looks a little bit like the FC United, the soccer, the Loons team. It's a little bit similar to that. The MN is good on the chest. They're the only City Connect that did a state instead of a city connected to a Nike wants you to connect with the city. And Minnesota, they did the state. So you'll see things all over the state, whether it's the northern lights, the yellow for the sun, the blue ripple with the water, they call that with the different shades. Now, the main color, though, is royal. Now, Andy, here's a question. Why would the Twins pick royal when next door neighbor, that's the type of blue the Brewers have, and south of the border, south here is Kansas City Royals, are rivals.
10,000 Lakes.
But you could have a different blue, right? A lighter, darker, something. It could be just blue.
Is
that 10,000 Lakes? Is royal blue?
I think that's why they did it.
Okay. See, I don't know. And they have the ripple effect. There's all different shades of blue in there. And so they're trying to make it look like that. But some people had a hard time saying, that's kind of a rivals, the Brewers and Royals. Now you're using their colors. And so when I got the cap, I want the different color, not the light. But they mentioned the Northern Lights. They mentioned the Polaris, the North Star, the Loon. There's a little on the sleeve of the jerseys on the field. There's a little light pink for the flowers, the lady slipper. So they've incorporated everything into the jerseys, including under the bill. But the point of this is that for the other teams, if you've got a favorite team for those listeners out there, and you don't like their jerseys, their City Connect uniforms, you may want to hit up their pro shop or their online. There may be things out there that you like that have nothing to do with the uniforms. And so that's why I want to bring attention to the cap. A lot of good things out there that they're selling.
Now they're going to wear a cap like that on game day?
What's that?
Is that the same type of game day cap they'll have, the MN?
Nope. This is nothing to do. And so the game is a yellow bill with the state of Minnesota in the blue and the actual cap. And then the pants are straight royal blue as well. They look like, you put it best, Andy, when you see the full outfits, it looks like pajamas. Yeah. The full uniform on field that the Twins will be wearing, the bottoms and tops looks like kids' pajamas, essentially. Now, we've seen I think the Baltimore team had that, or Cleveland, they have this. Because the pants are involved, it really makes it look goofy for all the teams. And so they have those as well. But they'll wear those only 11 times and always at home, I believe. Or they're always at home. So that's what they have. But when they do a rebrand like this with Nike and the Minnesota Twins, and to have an order like this of all these things, and all the shelves are full and the curtain rods are full of the clothes hangers of all these shirts and sweatshirts and jackets and outfits and tank tops for the ladies and kids, for the little kids, and hoodies and zip up hooded sweatshirts, all with the logo. Those aren't even the uniforms. They look completely different. So if you don't like the uniforms, you may want to peruse the online store, because there might be something there. I was surprised at the number of things that they sold that incorporated the logo.
If that was just a new t-shirt they were selling,
not the thing.
If that was a new t-shirt design they were selling, I'll take a couple of $15-$20 each. I'm not gonna buy a $500 jersey. Sorry, I'm cheap.
Yeah, they have the regular jerseys, they have the t-shirt jerseys, they have the authentic jerseys, they've got the blank jerseys in the back, and so when you look at this, to put it in comparison, the $469 for the jersey, you can get the game worn jerseys. All the other ones that the Twins have, the cream color, the light and the dark, they're all $369, I think, to get the game worn jersey.
About the jersey they got today, they got the logo on one side. And this isn't a rip. I would seriously buy this. Keep it like it is. You have the logo on the side. Put a little pocket over here and a collar on it. Make it a polo shirt. I'd be okay with buying that.
There was polo shirts. Yes, there was dress shirts with this logo. So it's what I call, from a marketing perspective, a marketing brand. There's keychains and magnets and shot glasses and coffee mugs of all these things. The jerseys themselves, like Andy said on the Facebook page, very plain. They're not over the top, so they're not obnoxious,
right? Like
some of the teams are. But the fact is, you may want to go and just take a peek through the pro shop on your favorite team, just because you may not like their particular jerseys for the on field. There's a whole selection of goodies out there that are pretty cool stuff that I never even knew existed. But they have to sign something and keep it all quiet when they're ordering and purchasing and stocking all these things, because nothing can leak.
Right.
So I was impressed with that on when they do these, that nothing leaks out. I mean, the socks. Andy, they announced the game-worn socks that are beyond for the Twins, but you can go to the pro shop and buy 2 different versions of socks that have this logo incorporated that are not the official socks, but that's something you and I could wear to a ball game or out camping or out for the weekend. Actual socks. It blows the mind how many. There's well over 100 things that they made just for this brand. It's ridiculous. Is what it is. It's ludicrous. But they're going to start wearing them this weekend. They're playing the Colorado Rockies here for 3 games, a winnable series. They're playing the Oakland A's, a winnable series. And then they play the Tampa Rays, a winnable series. So Twins should be able to win the next 3 series. Hopefully, you'll see the jerseys on TV Friday and Saturday. That's it.
That's all I got, man.
That's it. College World Series will be following big time next week. And the next week's show, too, we'll have the NHL finals and the NBA finals and the UFL final championship game. And then that will be done.
Yes.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening.
We'll see ya.
Have a good week.
Bye.